Hi, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology. Today I am discussing Saturn entering Aries. So Saturn enters Aries tomorrow. It is May 24th. It will be there really in Aries up until about in April of 2028. Now it's going to retrograde, and also it will move back into Pisces on September 1st and then back into Aries on February 13th of next year. Now it'll go retrograde July 13th up until November 27th of this year as well. It's kind of a long retrograde period. Saturn stays in each sign for about 2.5 years. And so it gives us a long time, really, a long time to kind of get it together. Saturn can be the stern teacher. Saturn is about higher ups and leaders and bosses. It's also about our own authority over our own lives if we have been responsible and kind of paid attention to self-discipline, if we have really practiced that in our lives. And so Saturn is the planet of maturity and moves into the first sign of the zodiac, essentially spinning the zodiac wheel all over again, right? Starting a new 29-year cycle in the very courageous and dynamic sign of Aries. Aries is about courage. It is the first sign in the zodiac. It's a cardinal sign, and if we know tarot, we know that the Fool represents Aries. Also the Emperor, right? The Emperor is the one who takes control, has the courage, has the drive to control his empire. Now, with regard to the Fool, interesting about Aries, because sometimes we can be impulsive with Aries energy, right? But we're definitely dynamic. We have the courage. That's what Aries represents. Also the Magician in tarot. It represents our ability to move ahead and, say, I'm going to do that, and really go forward and do it. So in the sign of Saturn, it's going to talk about people being disciplined and responsible and, but with the drive and the courage of Aries. And if not, if we haven't really paid attention to responsibility and self-discipline, Saturn can come in as the stern teacher, but during this 29-year cycle, Saturn moves through the zodiac, bringing new structure and new rules to each sign. So this is big because Saturn hasn't been in Aries since 1984. Yeah, that's a while, right? And Saturn has been in dreamy Pisces for about 2.5 years, dreaming about what could be. Pisces is the visionary, right? Sometimes the dreamer and the escapist, but Pisces believes in all that is possible. Pisces is a dreamer, and it's very hopeful. Pisces, it can be super hopeful. So with Saturn in Pisces, it shows us to use our intuitive powers and let go of all things that no longer serve us, letting those things dissolve, and so we can birth new chapters in our life. And that is what about moving into Aries is about. And not simply fantasize on them. So it's going to be time to take action on those dreams, and Saturn will guide us to take our time, reminding us of what could be. It will be time to take action, as I mentioned, but reminding us that all things good things take time and perseverance. While Saturn wants us to achieve, it wants us to be disciplined and responsible. Saturn in Aries can help us achieve, but only if we have been patient and we have been self-disciplined. Saturn is going to tame the Aries part, right? When Saturn moves in, when the planet moves into the sign, now the planet is really taking over. It is the Saturn version of Aries, really. So Saturn is going to help us tame this part of our chart, depending on what house Aries is for you. And we'll talk about that later for all the 12 signs, right? But Saturn's going to help us basically in Aries take our time and think things through before we jump out and, and react, basically. Saturn will give us a healthy dose of self-doubt, taming the impulsive side of Aries. Saturn's going to give us the discipline, helping us to be deliberate and think things through. Aries is a sign of starting over to begin, so many of us will create new beginnings for ourselves, but in a much more realistic, excuse me, self-disciplined and mature manner. Saturn is the planet of maturity. Excuse me, guys. Saturn in Aries is going to help us to learn self-mastery. And Saturn rules the 10th house of career and legacy. There's going to be new startups, new initiatives that define a new era. And this is going to be lasting because when Saturn is there, Saturn wants it to be concrete. It's an earth energy. It wants things to be solid. Also, Saturn and Neptune are in a hidden conjunction with the North Node as well. And so the next two and a half years will be a time for evolution and growing and becoming our best selves. There's a minor triangle with Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Uranus is the planet of innovation and Pluto. And so this is the move toward transformation. Neptune in Aries will make the dream come true for us. And Saturn in Aries is going to make it happen. So it is really an exciting time for everybody, really. So let's talk about Aries, and this is going to be huge for you, Saturn, Aries, rather, because Saturn moves into your first house of self. And many of you are going to feel like you're growing and becoming more self-disciplined, more responsible, and more mature. And Saturn can reward you, Aries, and with Neptune conjoining Saturn, you can bring your vision into reality. Saturn rules your house of career and legacy. This could be a good time to start a new career or become the person you've been dreaming of. Become your best self. Really move into your higher potential, right? Your idealism can take form now, Aries, and for the next 2.5 years, you'll be feeling this shift. Your ruling planet Mars is in your house of love, creativity, and self-expression. This is also your house of children. You're going to have the drive and the courage to move toward all that you desire. Let's talk about Taurus now. And Taurus, this happens in your house of dreams, idealism, and closure. Saturn rules your house of purpose, Taurus, the house of higher realms, education, and travel. And you could be studying or going about to get a degree or teach. And this is also your house of expansion, culture, and faraway lands. So you could be maybe doing a lot of, of traveling for the next 2.5 years. Venus, your ruling planet, is in your house of dreams and vision, supporting those visions. And this can be a time, Taurus, when you're making more money or building resources and assets. You could be falling in love or starting a new relationship. This could be a time of self-love and improving your self-esteem. Your natal Venus is also the ruler of your house of daily obligations. This is the house of daily grind, paying bills, your daily routine. And this is the house of your health and work, Taurus. Your lifestyle can change, or something key that has to do with your daily routine, your work, or your health. You could be setting up a new health regimen, possibly to, work on your health, something like that. You could be taking the initiative for a new job or a new career. Letting something go can likely support you now, Taurus. And for Gemini, this is happening in your house of the future, unexpected change and surprises. This is your house of social groups and networks and personal liberation, Gemini. Mercury, your natal ruler, is in a sextile with Saturn. So a sextile is an opportunity. It makes things, it's an opportunity, but you have to be able to see the sextile. And on the same day as Saturn enters Aries. So there is some type of opportunity there for you, Gemini. And it is to move forward. Mercury is conjoining Uranus, the planet of the future. This is about your moving forward. It definitely can be. But this is your house of unexpected change and surprises as well. You could have a surprise. You might have a surprise opportunity. Something can kind of drop into your lap. You're doing something most likely vastly different, or you're choosing something that is helping you to move forward and with more authenticity. So Mercury is also the ruler of your house of home and family. You and Virgo both share Mercury as planets. You do. And so, that also rules your house, your fourth house of home and family, and your emotional security. You could be moving, Gemini. This is also, right, your home address, the fourth house. You could be moving, or you may be setting yourself free from something from the past. This can have to do with your lifestyle as you know it, or your health or work. There's something you can learn from, or unchoose something perhaps as well, right? You're most likely feeling emotionally stronger during this transit, during this next 2.5 years, and that's helping you to manage your life better. There may be something you no longer believe in, Gemini, and it can all be a turning point. All right, for Cancer, and this is happening in your house of career and status. This is really great for you, Cancer, because Saturn is the natural ruler of this house. Your natal ruler, the moon, is conjoining Uranus, helping you to believe in your future, as this year will bring in change. This transit for the next 2.5 years is likely going to change you and support your vision for your career or how you want to be seen in the world, possibly your reputation, your legacy, what you'd like to leave behind, potentially. But this is in regard to your own personal agency, your own leadership. The moon is trining the south lunar node, which is connected to the past wounds perhaps, in your house of plans and goals, ideas and communication. This trine is making all of this easier. You're growing stronger emotionally, Cancer, and that is liberating you in some sense to follow your dreams, your visions, and to support you with your work and your career. All right, Leo, and this is happening in your house of purpose, higher realms, spirituality, travel, and education. This is your house of expansion, Leo. This is in another fire sign, so this is very good for you. You could be traveling or studying. You might also have a different approach on life, maybe a more spiritual approach. The sun, your natal ruler, is in your house of the future, unexpected change, and social groups. This is your house of hopes and wishes as well. And Saturn is the ruler of your house of daily routine, health and work and pets. So this is the house that makes your life function. This is the house that makes your life work. You can start a whole new life right now, Leo, one that is much more structured and improved. This can be related to any of the areas I mentioned above, your work, your health, and how you manage your daily life, your in and out, your life in and out, right? Or your daily life from day to day. Yeah, exactly. So the sun is also in trine with your house of relationships, Leo. You're seeing something new about relationships. Things could be easier moving forward in your relationships. And this can have to do with siblings or extended family as well, cousins and aunts. And you may feel like you're growing because of a different way of seeing or approaching your relationships. Your ideas or the way you think about them will most likely having you feel more liberated. All right, so Virgo, this is all happening in your 8th house of regeneration and transformation, intimate relationships, and shared finances. This is also your house of secrets, sex, and the taboo. This can be related to real estate, and this could be a time of maturity, Virgo, or how you approach relationships and money or joint resources. Saturn is in your 8th house, Virgo, and this can have you overcoming doubts and fears. You can be learning a truth about yourself that was deeply hidden. An awakening, perhaps. This can be a real or perceived truth. Mercury, your natal ruler, is in your house of career and status, very much connected to structure and maturity, personal ambition, and authority. Mercury is conjoining the sun. That when we have a conjunction, these are two planets that are getting together, right? They are supporting one another. And some like to say that they are married, temporarily married. Mercury is conjoining the sun, helping you to see what's necessary. You may have gone through something difficult, Virgo. Uranus is also conjoining Mercury, allowing or encouraging change and potentially liberating you or setting you free. You're trusting yourself more. If you are overthinking something as a rule, or you have a habit of doing that, or even self-critical, you're doing less of that, Virgo, and you will be doing that less of that, or maybe not doing it at all over the next 2.5 years. And you may have realized that this by way of a difficult lesson, transformation and maturity. All right. So Libra, this is all happening in your house of partnerships, romantic, business, or otherwise. So this is also the house in which you relate to others, legalities, and opponents or enemies. This is where your power is, as this is your natal house. So Chiron, Libra, represents introspection and healing. And it is here in this house as well. Chiron has been there for some time, and this has been a period of self-reflection and overcoming personal sensitivities and vulnerabilities, either psychological or physical. If you've been experiencing challenges in relationships, this can suggest confronting your past and learning karmic lessons and ultimately wisdom, bringing you more wisdom. If you're single, Libra, your focus or taste, it can be more geared toward a mature partner. Venus, your natal ruler, is in Aries as well, and this is further supporting you. Venus is at home here, and it is trining Mars. It's at home in this house, and it is trining Mars, the natural ruler of Aries, right? In Leo, in your house of friendships, unexpected change, and the future. This is also your house of hopes and wishes. And so in Leo, this can suggest romantic relationships or creative or unconventional relationships, perhaps. There's something you're improving or healing with regard to how you relate to others or how you show up in those relationships, Libra. Or your role. You might be, seeing your role in relationships a little different. And so you may be healing a particular relationship, and there's a trine there making it easier for you during Venus's transit in Aries, and also as Venus moves into Taurus. Saturn is the ruler of your house of home and family, and the South Node in your house. The South Node is in your house of the subconscious mind, closure, loss, and personal sacrifice. This is also the house of undoing, personal undoing. You have the South Node opposing Saturn. So the South Node is about the past. It can be about our wounds, past lives, and how we are still it can be about karmic lessons as well. But you could be letting something go at this time, Libra, and there are rewards that come with that. Change is highlighted with this opposition. You're more mature in relationships, and this is helping you to let go of things of the past that may have hindered you. It's all good, though. It is, all in all. Okay, let's look at Scorpio now. And Scorpio, this happens in your 6th house of daily routine, lifestyle, work, and health. So this is going to be a 2.5-year period of growth, or taking on more responsibilities, perhaps, self-discipline, and potentially taking care of your health. Mars, your ancient ruler, is in your house of career, authority, and ambition. This is a time where you may be starting to follow a more structured daily routine or schedule that will help you manage your daily life much more effectively and efficiently. If you're very busy, Scorpio, your focus can be on time management and daily routines and how that may affect your life, your health, or your well-being, right? Saturn is in sextile with Pluto, your modern ruler, and there's something you can transform right now, Scorpio, or regenerate, perhaps through maturity, and something you may have experienced or seen as restrictive or challenging. You're overcoming that, and this could be tied to your work. It feels like you're managing your life with a higher perspective. All right. And let's talk about Sagittarius now. And this is all in your house of love, self-expression, creativity, and hobbies and children. This is your house of fun, Sagittarius. Saturn is in a sextile with Pluto in your house of the mind, plans and goals, and siblings. This is also the house of local community, short distance travel, and learning. And so there's an opportunity to transform, Sagittarius, perhaps the way you think about goals, plans, or maybe the way you make your plans, your decisions, right? You may be making decisions a little more intuitively, This can be a time when you're more disciplined with regard to goals and your creative self-expression. This can be a powerful time, Sagittarius, but also Saturn can restrict you. So perhaps in your creative projects or goals related to them, take your time, avoid being impulsive during the next 2.5 years, during this Saturn transit. The key will be to maintain responsibility and self-discipline. This also can be with regard to your relationships. Saturn is in a hidden conjunction with the North Node of Fate and higher potential. This is really great. This is a fated event can occur for you and can happen, right? And someone can come into your life as that is fated. Now, with Saturn in the hidden conjunction with the North Node of Fate and higher potential, this can be that you've really kind of done what you've needed to do. You've matured, you've grown, you've been self-disciplined, and now you can enjoy the North Node rewarding you, right? Which is really your best self and your true potential. And so, yeah, your hard work and determination at this time, Sagittarius, can lead to success. And in any type of relationship, business, your hard work can help you in any type of a relationship or your work, right? There's a square with your natal Jupiter and Saturn, which can lead to expansion or challenges in some way, depending. The square will have you taking action, putting pressure, creating tension. But this is going to be, again, suggesting not to be impulsive with work, creative endeavors, or relationships. This will be a time for growth and personal evolution. It's very exciting. Avoid doubting yourself, Sagittarius. Don't doubt your ideas or your creative aspirations. Communicate freely as well. If you're prepared for success and you've been diligent, then you have a much better chance for that expansion that is so important to Sagittarius. Okay, Capricorn, this is happening in your house of home and family and emotional foundation. Saturn is your ruling planet. So this is important. This is big for you, Capricorn. This transit is going to bring you more confidence and more drive. It is more courage. And the next 2.5 years can be a time for major growth and maturity. The way you assert yourself in the world can take on a whole new kind of dynamic. You could be more serious. You usually kind of are, but you could be growing like more mature. But you're going to have the power to back it up, the courage and the drive to the best combination, right? Maturity and drive. Saturn is opposing your house of purpose, faith, and spirituality. You're learning lessons during this transit, Capricorn, that will help you evolve and achieve. And so on June 15th, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and higher realms, will square your natal Saturn, putting pressure and creating tension, causing you to take action related to your work, your health, or how you manage your daily life. And this may be connected to where you live, as Saturn is in your house of home and family. You may feel the need to move house or possibly move somewhere where you feel more comfortable or somewhere where you feel more aligned with. You're going to have more courage during this 2.5-year transit. All right, so for Aquarius, this is all happening in your house of the intellect, plans and goals, siblings, short distance travel, and learning. This is also related to the neighborhood and local community. So Aquarius, Saturn is your ancient ruler, and this transit is supporting your plans and goals. Your relationships can become more grounded, especially with siblings and extended family, cousins and aunts. And your style of communication or expressing yourself will likely appear more practical and grounded or self-disciplined. This is a time when a grounded, mature approach will bring more opportunities your way. And many of you will feel more drive and more passionate with this understanding. Saturn also rules your house of mystery, the subconscious mind, and closure. You may be closing out a chapter in your life, Aquarius, that will in turn empower you. So Uranus, your modern ruler, will be moving into your house of love, self-expression, creativity, hobbies, and children. This is also your house of fun and entertainment. This will occur on July 7th of this year. If you're an artist or creator of any type, Aquarius, your work or approach to your work will be more authentic, more unique perhaps, and more aligned to who you really are. It will be more important during this transit to feel free in your relationships. Also, you may seek out unconventional relationships that you may have never done before. You're taking control of personal agency and personal leadership, Aquarius, and good luck with that. So for Pisces, this is important to you. It is. Saturn moves into your house of earned income, values, and resources, possessions, and self-esteem. So Neptune, your modern ruler, is conjoining Saturn and in a hidden conjunction with the North Node. The North Node represents your true potential, also known as your best self, right? Neptune and Saturn can have you imagining new ways to bring more value to your life, more comfort, and financial stability. This can be a great time, Pisces, for financial planning, setting goals, or wealth building, or simply managing your money better. You may need to avoid impulsive spending habits. Your relationship with money can change. It can really improve, and confidence in yourself can help support your attitude and your relationship with money. This is in your house of comfort and material possessions. So your perspective about earning money, spending it, or saving it is highly influenced during the next 2.5 years. You may become more realistic and disciplined with your finances. You'll be driven and methodical in your approach to earn more money. Jupiter, your ancient ruler, is in your house of home and family, Pisces. The focus in the past year has been strong about building strong family ties and expanding and laying down roots. Jupiter will move into Cancer next month. Interesting about Jupiter moving out of Gemini in your 4th house. Now it's going to be moving into Cancer, which represents home and family as well. So there could have been a lot of moving house. There can be, in the next year, and maybe in the year that we have just experienced, right? That has just passed, right? And but Jupiter will move into Cancer, into your house of love, self-expression, creativity, and children. This is also your house of fun and hobbies, entertainment, and recreational activities. And the next year will have you enjoying yourself more, Pisces, with romance, self-expression, creativity, and fun. It really looks like a great year for you. It does. There can be more emphasis on home and family, as well as Jupiter moves into Cancer for 1 year, as I mentioned. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to get a psychic reading, a tarot reading, please see the description box below. I also do past life readings, and those are really powerful to help you reach your true potential, because we're talking about past lives. You're bringing it, you are connecting, with a past life all on your own. I am not choosing that for you, which brings a lot of wisdom, and it shows us what we've been holding on to in this life that is hindering us, even if it is subtly. For many of us, it's huge, right? And so it can be. And so those are really mystical. They are, and they can really help you feel more aware of yourself and know yourself better, because we're always trying to get toward the North Node, right? I was talking about that in this video. The North Node is our true potential, our higher selves. So that's what those past life readings can help us do, right? Brings in awareness, and that really empowers us. Everything is below in the description box. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me to keep these videos coming. It really does. And hit the little bell if you'd like to be notified of my next upload. Thanks so much, guys.